This is going to be the second video now that I'm trying to officially be back to normal YouTube posting. Um, and I do feel like I need to kind of switch up the content because I do a lot of talking about different things, which I enjoy. I enjoy focusing on different topics of things that I'm interested in and things that I want to talk about that I feel like not a lot of people talk about or don't talk about enough. But I think it's time for me to develop in my career further. Um, just kind of being very nice to myself when I say career, but in my path, on my path in being an artist, I want to develop that further by actually being an artist. And what does actually being an artist mean? I have been doing fan art or drawing anything related to fan art stuff, which you would equate to anything movies, series, like intellectual property that already exists, you know? All the well-loved Marvel series, the Walking Dead, video games, the cult classics, anything like that, even music, even some music artists or people I've listened to. It can be literally anything. And I just feel like I've spent so much time drawing those things because I'm fond of them, because I grew up on them, because it played a big part in my life. Um, I guess my worldview, how I see certain things, is definitely because of what I've watched or what I've consumed. You know what I mean? Like you are a product of your environment. Um, and that entails what you've grown up with, um, what you know, what you love, what you talk to others about. And so part of that is trying to break myself off to a certain degree. So I'm still going to draw fan art stuff or fan art related stuff because it does fairly well, I would say, in terms of reach. And in the background, I'm going to focus as much as I can on more original work or just artworks and stuff that I can safely say are mine and I own and is my intellectual property, and that I can control that entire process from start to finish, and I don't have to worry about legal stuff. I don't have to worry about what someone else thinks of them, because no matter what, from start to finish, I'm finally going to have work and eventually a collection, which is the goal, of stuff that is mine. That when you look at, hopefully, you'll be like, that is Kieran Paulson's work, and that is the goal. And what kind of spurred that on and why I decided to kind of do that is because I've always been feeling in the back of my head that whenever I do things, print things, whatever, I know it's intellectual property. And it still doesn't sit right with me, and I don't feel original. I don't feel like as an artist I'm doing the right thing, or I'm being a good example of someone um, that's supposed to be there to help others if they need help. That's supposed to give good examples, good experience, teachings, whatever, anything that I have that someone that maybe just started needs to know. I think it's important that I also still come from a good place. And I'm not hating on people that predominantly do fan art, that it's their bread and butter or how they make a living, but just from doing Comic Con every single year, or just from doing the small markets that I do, I feel like my heart really lies in what would soon be my original work. And if I could hone in on that and focus on that and showcase something that is just all my work, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a start, It's not going to be um, the biggest breakthrough or whatever. It's the start of the process. So it's going to be just work, things that I like, animals, whatever, a mix of different things, different styles. I don't know. But it's mine, and that's the most important thing. and that I don't want to be someone that, yes, I can draw anime, no problem. Yes, I can do color realism, or I can do realism, or I can do this style or that style. That's perfectly fine. I can draw Disney characters. I can draw Marvel characters. Um, I am making coffee. 1 second. Sorry, I was making coffee. So my point is that I don't think it scratches the itch anymore. I don't think it makes me feel fulfilled in a way that creating my own artwork would. Just because I, as an artist, am able to draw certain things, replicate, copy things, um, and do it very well, I would argue, doesn't mean that I'm an artist in my head. Specifically to me, this is the conversation I'm having. So I don't want anyone to feel like I'm directing it at anyone. I'm directing it at myself because this is kind of my thought process. As chaotic as it is, there is a method to the madness. There is some reason, and it's that I need to focus on a body of work that can get me somewhere, that can take me somewhere. And that also goes into like the conversation of, oh, but creating art for yourself and creating art for money has their differences and pros and cons and whatever. And yeah, that's true. And maybe it's worse making art for money, and maybe there should be a different video. But in my opinion, I don't give a fuck. Because I just think like anyone that really focuses on art, anyone that does anything in the art space, the last thing you want to do is work a 9 to 5. The last thing you want to do is work a normal job. The last thing you want to do is do anything that isn't that art. And so if you told that person that they could just do that for the rest of their life, and maybe they don't make millions, maybe they don't, but they just get by. I promise you, that person will take that. They will take it instead of shoveling shit for 40 years just to maybe get more money than what the thing that they love doing would provide. They would 100% do the thing that they love. Maybe it's different if you're in a family or if you already have obligations, but I just feel like that calling to a person, it exists, it's there, and I want to answer mine. I want to stop ignoring that voice in my head that's getting louder and louder. Um, that's saying like, yo, like start focusing on your own shit. Start putting ideas together. Start being creative. Start being original. Um, And I'm not saying I'm gonna be some next fucking Picasso or whatever. I'm just trying to be the best artist that I can be. I still take a lot of knowledge, skills, expertise, tips, tricks, um, guidance from drawing fan art, from everything that I've put together, learning how to draw those things and the fundamentals and everything. It still provides me the technical knowledge that I would need and that I would transfer over to original work, but it's not going to do heavy lifting for me. I still need to do the most important aspect of what I think is being an artist, and that's the thinking. That's the being original, the creativity, doing something that maybe some aspects of that no one's seen before, or an angle, perspective that nobody's looked at. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. I want to be known for my work, not someone else's work. Because the thing also goes into the fact that those people are great in their own right. That made that artwork. That did those things. Um, they had to go through their own process. I mean, George Lucas, it is George Lucas, yeah, Star Wars. Um, he went through his own journey in order to create Star Wars and make Star Wars a thing. Like, who am I to just draw Star Wars, which I love, um, but who am I to draw it and make like it's mine? Who am I to take The Lord of the Rings and draw it because I love it and make like it's mine? And I'm not making like it's mine, but I'm just saying, like, in the capacity of selling things and the business side of things, it doesn't make sense to focus anything on fan art. It's good for maybe private clients, It's good for um, social media, for the internet, for everything. It's good to see different takes on things. It's good for many reasons. But I just don't think it's good for you as an artist that wants to be known as insert your name, the artist, if that makes sense. You want to be known for your own work and still do those things and do those things because you want it, because you love The Lord of the Rings, because you love Star Wars, because you love X-Men, whatever it may be. But you don't just want to be known as the person that does fan art. At least I don't. And I don't want to be a one-trick pony either. I want to be an artist, a really good artist. So that's kind of the switch that I've been thinking of. I've already put things into motion. I've already got a bunch of paper and stuff. So I've created a new account, all fresh, all new, specifically for original content. I'll put it here in the middle. And hopefully that will grow, it will develop. But regardless, I will put all of my more original art that I've worked on there. So thanks for listening.